allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Snellings.
Present.
Ferris.
Here.
Behrens.
Here.
Keating.
Present.
Eichmann.
Present.
Throm.
Here.
Schrader.
Present.
Iraqi. Quorum is present.
Thank you. First up, we have approval of minutes from the regular meeting July 28th.
Approved minutes, regular meeting July 28, 2025 is written.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7-0.
Next up, we have approval of minutes for the special meeting from July 29th.
Move to approve special meeting minutes from July 29th.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7-0.
Thank you. Next up, we have public comments. If anyone would like to come forward and speak at this time to a maximum of 5 minutes, please give your name, address, and ward number.
Hi, I'm Garrett Staggs. I am a board member of the Youth Advisory Committee, and I'm here to just talk about our back to school night that we're hoping will go really well, have a lot of involvement, get more kids involved, and just have a lot of fun. We talked about a lot of other things. Most of you were here for the meeting, and my poor job taking role in everything. But overall, we talked about a lot of things, have a lot of ideas for the near future, and I'm happy to see where we'll take this, and I hope you guys are too. I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
You
thanks
guys are
for
doing
being
awesome.
Yes, thanks for being on the YAC. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. All right, would anybody else like to come forward and speak at this time? Okay, seeing no one, we'll move on to notices and hearings, of which we have none. And then to business and discussion items. First up, we have the draft ordinance for a proposed 6th Street truck route.
So this draft ordinance, I'll go ahead and read the start. It says, an ordinance amending in part portions of the current code of the city of Marysville, Kansas, regulating overweight vehicles operating within the city of Marysville, Kansas, and repealing any conflicting ordinances or resolutions. So this ordinance deals with the gross weight of trucks, trailers, and other conveyances, whether loaded or unloaded, based at 30,000 pounds is what we have suggested. Obviously, we knew that 30,000 is not necessarily the right number, but it is what has been used in other cities. So we went ahead and highlighted it just so that this body can discuss that amount and see what that number should be. And then also we have highlighted the designation of routes. Based on the conversation at the last council meeting, we heard that 6th Street from Center Street to May Street would be the designated truck route.
Was there any further research done on whether there was, in fact, a truck route in place on South 6th Street, or whether that signage is just inaccurate?
We did not find one.
Okay. So,
Well, if we get a long conversation.
that's maybe a different conversation, but since it's all 6th Street, I thought it was germane. So I guess what are people's thoughts on that 30,000 pounds? That's not a whole lot of weight. I mean, any van trailer is going to be well over that for sure. Even a straight truck would probably be right up in that ballpark or greater. What's your fully loaded roll-off truck weigh, Kevin?
Depends on what I got in it.
Cinder blocks. Something heavy.
I can push 69,000 pretty easy.
Yeah. And even if it was lumber.
Empty,
Yeah.
without a box on it, I'm 33,500.
So over that.
I'm over that already.
And you have to run up and down streets to access properties, which is understood.
Even a 1-ton pickup with a
22-foot trailer has to have a CDL if you're pushing a
Wait.
27,000 pounds.
Yep.
You're getting
Over
close.
26, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't take much to
No,
get up there.
no, I know.
Welcome.
So I mean, I could understand it being higher than that, especially given those circumstances and since, I mean, there's a big gap between, 40-foot gooseneck behind a 1-ton pickup and a fully loaded grain hopper. That's a big difference. Anybody here have any familiarity with driving trucks that has any opinion? Keith?
No. You could probably be talking 70,000 pounds if you want to.
I think that's enough.
And it's going to take 3,300 bushels to fill one grain car. 1,100 bushels of one grain trailer. So you got three trucks just to fill that one grain trailer. But you got 10 of them lined up. So you're talking 210,000 pounds possibly going up and down that street just loaded. Then you gotta add that empty weight coming back.
Right. My opinion is it makes sense to have truck routes in place, but you've got to structure it in such a way that it makes sense too.
So how does that work? No trucks can travel anywhere else except on that?
Unless to make a delivery to a specific destination, but if it's just going through, then they need to use whatever's the closest way to get through the truck route.
20th Street wasn't ever dedicated as a truck route either?
I don't believe so.
There's no ordinance speaking to truck routes in general, besides one that it seems the intent is to delivery trucks, where it says that they can't park on a certain area.
If we don't have any truck routes, 6th Street could be one, 20th Street, what's that,
Well, 11th Road,
towards Lansdale.
North Street,
Yeah,
up
I mean,
North Street itself probably.
Down to detention.
Huh?
Down to detention.
17th,
down,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Chief's here. Chief, would you,
Street gets used a lot,
sorry to call you forward, but
a lot.
a lot, you're right.
So does
It
4th
does.
Street.
Yeah, 8th Street gets used significantly for trucks.
I'm a little interested in how you feel enforceability would go as from a police perspective.
I agree with you.
Sorry to put you on the spot, but
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And I think that it would have to be a thoughtful way to go because there are trucks going to other places, right? And so anything that goes to Landals, anything that goes to Tension, anything that goes to Pepsi, I think all of that would have to be in place. So would we be able to enforce it if we're there to see it, right? Or if we had other evidence, we'd investigate it just like we would any other infraction. And that part wouldn't change. So how we go about doing that, I think if we had an idea if things were not following truck routes, we had set up enforcement operations, or we would have strategically placed some cameras or whatever it is that we. Really, it depends on what we believe is the extent of the problem, right? And so we've got some resources that we could deploy and attack it if we really believe that was a problem.
and you could use their bill of lading, et cetera, for weight. You wouldn't need access to a scale more than likely. That's just, I'm trying to fill out the wrinkles.
Yeah, so that would be difficult for us. It truly would, and it would take some research. So that number, I think, shouldn't be arbitrary. And like you said earlier, I completely agree. I think it needs to be a thoughtful number that makes sense. If not, we're going to be doing research for time-consuming research on each individual call and enforcement. I hate to say for nothing, but for nothing, right? So that isn't going to be something easy for us to determine what the weight is of a loaded truck.
And I think by and large, these things need, I mean, people, you kind of expect people to respect them and follow them because they're designated, you know, without the stick. I mean, you would hope it wouldn't get abused, that people would understand that there's a reason we dedicate these things, and then you wouldn't need to really be out there cracking the whip on them anyway.
Agreed. Yes, sir. Right. And so truly, by and large, Marysville and the community does a great job of following our expectations, right? And so, most of the time, all of our enforcement revolves around education more than the stick, which I'm grateful for. That tells us we got a great community.
So maybe the solution is maybe not have the designated truck route in an ordinance, but
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
if somebody has a delivery location, because evidently according to where we're sitting now, if you're trying to go to your final destination, this is where you turn. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing on the
Right.
books now, yeah. But this ordinance would allow people to make their most, the closest route to their destination.
Yeah, as far as like roll-off trailers go, say you were at 5th and May that you're trying to get to, then you would take 6th Street up over to May. But if you're even over at 3rd, you just go to 3rd, because that is the closest way to get there. You know, it wouldn't make sense to go to 6th. So if we were talking about, you know, even UP vehicles trying to get to their depot, we're not asking them to go to 6th and then over. You know, the most direct location would still just be to go up to it.
Up to it, in which way?
Is that 2nd Street?
2nd Street.
Yeah.
Around the bypass.
Broadway and under the bridge and out.
I think where this is applied most often is just in the sense of thinking of cardinal directions. If it is not necessarily delivering in town, but if I'm a driver going on 36 and I'm wanting to go east, obviously I'm going to stay on 36. Same way with west. But if I'm coming north of town and I want to go west, make sure that we have a corridor for that. If someone's wanting to go south out of town, that we've got a corridor for that. Got a north through town corridor for that. Because, I mean, as by volume, that is going to be the largest number of trucks. And as stated earlier, I mean, a lot of this is just education to make sure that, you know, the good faith actors are positively acting in good faith.
And Keith, by and large, you wouldn't want to be driving down a lot of these streets anyway as a trucker. It'd be very uncomfortable and inconvenient. And
I wouldn't.
No,
Not
right.
every day.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So do we need,
Just look at North Street. How many times has that been fixed? I mean, restructured. I mean, those trucks go up and down there every day.
Oh, you mean like
Yeah.
up by Blandall? Yeah.
All the way to 8th Street,
Yeah.
every day.
Right.
So would you be wanting to take 6th Street?
Just the numbers I gave you, let's just say that there's 10 grain cars to fill. It's just 270,000 pounds. I'll just give it, you know, that number just for 3 truckloads on 1 grain car. So just take that times 10. That's how many that's the weight you're gonna have up and down 6th Street.
And you know, I don't know that, I mean, Brian knows kind of where we're standing on this, and I think it'd be one thing if it's just his drivers, because he'll, you know, they're his guys, but if this does grow and gets wide open, then it starts to be like, well, people are gonna just do what they're gonna do. I think that's what we're trying to maybe get ahead of here, because I think he understands that we're asking for it to be on 6th Street, and he'll be like, yeah, that's fine. He said that's fine. But I trust that he would do that with his guys. But
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm more nervous if it takes off and then there's 20, you know, random, you know, intermediate hauler guys coming in and out that don't know that.
He's gonna do whatever we tell him to do. 'Cause
He's working with
that
us and
project.
he's doing it, yeah. He's working with us.
And I think if he has somebody coming in there and it gets reported that they're going down the wrong street, he's gonna police it.
Yeah, well, I think
He's
so.
gonna make sure that
He understands where we stand. He wants to be, you know, with us on it. So, I mean, I don't know that we need to, if we're worried about doing the wrong thing. We probably don't need to declare the truck route. Connected, disconnected, I think we should remove signages on the south side that aren't appropriate because it isn't a truck route. Like, let's not sign things that doesn't exist.
Leave a sign on the corner though, at Sixth and Jackson, because otherwise
They won't know which way to go.
They won't know how to get back to go all the way
direction,
down.
or even if we, does
change
it
it
say
to a
US,
direction.
does it say
Yeah.
US 77?
Yeah,
Okay. I was gonna say, I couldn't remember what it
yeah, it
sounded.
does.
Cause yeah, otherwise they'll go all the way
They
down.
do,
and then
they get down to Kester and then they end up backing up 2 blocks.
Because they can't make
They
that
can't make the
corner.
corner down.
Yeah, I get it.
So whatever you do, just make sure that sign still has.
So there
an
needs to
arrow
be
that points
some
to-
way for them to find their way through.
Maybe not truck route. but-
Yeah,
Yeah. Like, just something that says US 77 or US 36 going north. What's the council's thoughts?
I'd say leave it alone. Don't do an ordinance, don't do anything, just leave it alone. If we need to come back and do something, we can. But for right now, I think Brian's gonna talk to his guys and we're not gonna have any problem with this.
So,
Is it possible to, if Brian wants to come to us, if it gets to be more traffic, and says, hey, I'd like to put a sign up that tells people that's within city ordinance of putting a sign up, would it be possible for him to do that?
We definitely come ask for it. I
To
don't-
direct traffic?
Right.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
would say.
we'd have to thread the needle of what's allowed KDOT wise
Right,
and all
yeah,
that
no.
stuff, but
so what's the chief think if we don't do an ordinance? Is it still, can anything be done if there's an overloaded on there or?
No.
That's what I figured.
That'd be enough, yeah.
So, yeah, if we don't have anything that states there's a restriction, then we don't have anything that we'd be able to enforce.
That's what I thought.
You don't?
But, I mean, in your opinion, should we preemptively get ahead of that potential problem or see if it is a problem first?
Great question. And thankfully, the elected
It's
officials.
a political
will
question,
see that.
yeah.
No, truly, I think everything, and I've said this before, I think everything really depends on the volume, right? And while we're talking about his group and his trucks, I really don't foresee us having a problem. I do think that at some point, and what that volume number is, I really don't know, but at some point we'll probably feel, okay, this is getting a little bit heavier. And at that stage, I think it is probably worth having a discussion, and then we can discuss what those numbers are and weight numbers and how aggressively we want to enforce, right? If you're asking for my personal opinion, I think right now, with the volume that he's talking about through this year, I don't foresee us having any problem at all. And I think having nothing there will be just fine. Whether they come in loaded at whatever weight they come in at, probably be okay.
In all reality, are we as a city going to enforce things more strictly than KDOT?
In what way?
Like weights?
Weights?
Probably
No.
not.
So, what he's saying is if KDOT says you can't be on 36
No, I mean-
with a certain weight, we shouldn't have to worry about it because they'll already be
Right.
where they need to be.
But are we gonna try to be that one little pocket within the state highway system that says, oh no, you can't do it when you get to Marysville? And would that be tough to enforce?
Yeah, if you're asking me if it'd be,
Yeah.
Yeah, we would be preempted from any state law and.
You can always go more restricted. For the most part, you can go more restricted.
Oh, we'd have to get into specifics, Josh.
Yeah.
But we could easily well be preempted, especially for anything regarding a state road or highway. We would be preempted from doing anything with that.
Because I know county has roads around town that says, maximum gross weight.
Sure they do. A lot of counties do.
And they've been fighting that forever on
Yeah,
different roads.
Exactly, so.
Okay. Good. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
So, the consensus to do nothing at this time on this proposal of designating truck routes?
I'll leave it alone.
Along with that, though, I know last time we were discussing parking of cars and stuff on different sides of the street, is that still something we want to do, or?
That was
we
not, yeah, I mean, we just, the stop
We did
sign
not create
resolutions
a
are-
draft, but
But not for that, but that it can be something discussed, because I do have concerns with two-sided parking and semis. I mean, if it gets busy and they're meeting each other, it's gonna be
Hectic,
hectic, and it's gonna be hard to navigate those trucks through there without bumping things.
absolutely.
But that might be connected to our next item here, which is the draft resolution, well, somewhat connected, for the stop sign at Sixth in Calhoun. What are the council's thoughts on this? It's, the idea being it would be, you know, a good way to slow down traffic, provide a little bit of control, not only for future truck traffic, but also, just existing north-south traffic.
I don't have
this
a
is
problem,
by-
I don't have a problem with this, because it's just, it's a safety issue for me.
Yeah. And that
This
is
is at Bruce's?
Yep.
that is a, I mean, by like local accounts, a popular crossing route for children going to and from school. I would say, I don't think it's actually in the ordinance, but I think it would be very wise for us to paint, crosswalks.
This one would make more sense to do than what we did at CJ's, because, you know,
Well, yeah. That's
But do you
water
don't
under
know
the
how
bridge,
much
Steve.
that gets used for people coming off the highway?
I know, but this is for pedestrians, more
Right.
pedestrians.
All right.
So, I mean, yeah, the idea being here, and we can discuss the parking situation sort of in connection to this as well, but that this would be a good way to preserve safety with increased traffic, but also make it just safer than it is now.
I move we proceed with this draft ordinance.
Second.
Okay, so moved and seconded to proceed with the resolution to install stop signs for Sixth Street at Sixth and Calhoun.
do you have a resolution number?
If you want to pass it, I do. 2025-14.
This would be resolution.
Move to approve resolution 2025-14.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? And can it just be something you discuss with the street crew as far as
Yeah.
lane markings and all that?
Yeah.
Probably stop bars as well.
Yeah, we'll do the bars.
Crosswalk.
They
Crosswalks.
didn't want them going down 7th Street corridor because of the safety of kids, but then you're gonna let them run through a residential area for the safety of kids.
Well, it's technically not a residential, it's zoned commercial. Or, I'm sorry, light
One side
industrial.
is commercial or?
Light, I believe both sides are light
I'd have to look at the
industrial
map.
through there.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's houses in the light industrial,
Yeah.
kinda like I live in commercial, but, yeah,
It is-
it's the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7-0.
Thank you. If we were to change parking, would that need to be done by draft resolution as well?
Yeah, we'll get a resolution.
Can you work on that?
Yeah.
How would you do that, you know, because Keller Park's on the east side. Are you gonna say he has to go on the west side?
Well, that's.
And then the residentials are gonna have to go on the east
There's-
side, I mean,
It'll only,
Some reason, I think where Sloop Shop is, it already says no parking on that side of the street,
on the west side?
on the west side.
does, I know up on the. But then you get farther down and you have all the houses.
Or on
It's
the
a-
west
East,
side.
the west
Yeah,
side.
it's a mix, because, yeah, at the first block, so the 200 block of North Sixth, it's no parking on the west side because of the truck traffic needing to use Pepsi on the east
Okay,
side.
yeah.
And then the
You already
second,
can't park on the other side
yeah,
of the street.
and then the second block is uncontrolled. And then third block,
There's no parking.
no
on the-
parking, we probably just need to get it consistent. My opinion, only my opinion, is that most of the housing is on the west side.
Yes.
So it makes more sense to have the parking right next to the housing.
Right.
So as people don't have to walk into the street to get to their cars, across the street, they still have to walk into the street.
Right.
But that can come from the draft, I mean, you can draft it as such.
Yeah.
And we can discuss it, but
So after Calhoun stop sign, no parking on the
east.
east side.
And I would think that would make
That
it
would-
easier for
that-
trucks coming in an east
That
out
would
of the
be.
way as well. Yeah.
you know, because I'm thinking of everybody that lives down there.
It is inconsistent
Yeah.
now, but, and that, I mean,
But
confusion
from
isn't
Calhoun
helpful.
on, there's not that many houses.
No, the
on
one
it.
house can park on the driveway.
And on this off-street parking
And
on
that's-
Calhoun.
Yeah, the west side there's several houses with no off-street parking, so I'm specifically concerned that they have parking available to them,
Right.
so. Okay. Next item is, the discussion around closing the North 7th Street as was requested by the, Marysville Union Pacific Depot Historical Society. They would like to see us close that between Carolina and Calhoun. That street was reopened, I believe Alston as well, there's a T intersection there. That was reopened after the city took that property back. It is currently a street, as well as there's some lots, city-owned lots along there where we dump snow, et cetera, where the yellow caboose is. But it is a street right now. Obviously, they would like it closed because it's, you know, traffic right by their facility and it's a lot of dust and other things, as previously discussed. So what are council's thoughts on this, ruminations on how to proceed with that request?
I'm not okay with doing it right now. A, we have no idea what we're doing with 7th Street. B, like that night Kevin and I were down there, we literally watched the semi-driver guy pull in, park, his wife came and picked him up. Where are we sending those people?
Right.
Until we have a designated spot for those trucks to go,
Yeah.
I don't feel like we can just close it down and be like, oh, well, good luck.
Go find somewhere else.
Yeah, good luck. You know,
And the other
like,
thing, if you close it and RFP comes through, we're gonna have to reopen it,
yeah.
put the sewer line in, put a road in.
Why would you have to do that?
No, my understanding is, okay, and I'm
If you
not a
vacate it,
lawyer.
it goes back to the property owner.
Well, we wouldn't vacate it, we'd have to redesignate it for a different governmental purpose. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah, yeah.
They asked for vacation though, Todd.
Yes.
Yeah, well, and I think they're using the term liberally
I'm just
because
telling you
they
what
don't
they-
have a staff attorney.
Hey.
So, yeah.
I mean, if they want to pay me, they can. You just need to sign a waiver of conflict and, no, but yeah, and then to that point also, Kevin, we keep all easements and everything if we would, you know, do anything with that for sure.
And, I mean,
Because am I correct, if you vacate it, it goes their half goes back to them?
Yes, but even then, the city would, in that vacation, we would keep the easements for
With there
utility
not
purposes.
being an easement along 7th between those two blocks, a part of the condition for vacating is we'd probably have them
Put that
sign an easement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Does the
if
railroad still have a fiber optic cable running through there?
Yep.
they do. It's not, my understanding is
MCI.
it's not currently used, but they do retain ownership and rights to that cable.
It's a big line.
It
too.
runs all the way north on the rail trail up into Nebraska. Points unknown. No, if you were to vacate it and you would, yes, you would need to redesignate it, vacate it. You would need to redesignate it as a governmental purpose, probably a park or something like that. But I agree, until we have somewhere that makes sense to send people, then we're just creating a
Or
different
even we have a
problem.
plan.
Right.
I mean, what if it's 3 or
Well,
4
no,
years
no,
from
that
now?
goes back to the whole 7th Street, that goes back to a lot of different plans we've tried to do in this community. We haven't had a plan for any of the roads. We haven't had a plan for 7th Street. We talk about it. We haven't had a plan for fixing the ball diamonds. We talk about it, but we haven't. We don't need to fix the drainage first. We need to have a plan in place to do it. And part of that plan would, first step is, okay, we're gonna turn this into a spot where nobody drives. Okay, we got that on the docket now. Now, let's start working on the drainage. Now we don't have anybody driving there. Oh, you guys wanna haul some dirt in and put some green space there? That's great. But if we continue to just keep kicking the can down the road on 7th Street, doing the same thing on other projects, we'll be sitting here 5-10 years from now talking about the same thing.
Well,
And how do you plan for drainage if you don't know what's gonna be there? How much non-permeable surface, how much green space?
So-
Because all the drainage plans are gonna.
But do we need a street going through there?
Exactly.
That's where I come from.
So I mean, yes, all valid points.
You need
I'd like to-
Caroline and Calhoun streets, that's all you
I
need.
think we're on the track to actually moving off of some of this top dead center language, after a long time. It is a bit of a chicken and the egg dilemma. I think we need to know what a stormwater study costs. And then as part of that, getting that study, it's what are you gonna do? What's that look like? That's what the study can work in conjunction with.
Correct.
Because if you just do the plan and then you can't know how you're gonna do it without the study. Well, you can't just do the study without knowing what your plan is.
How many plans we had done on 7th Street so far?
How many actionable
That we
plans?
spent money on?
Not very many that we've actually spent money on, but how many actionable plans?
None.
None.
Yeah, correct. Lots of elements.
So
And
this
that's,
is just a study. It's-
right, well, we're not even to that part yet.
Right.
But
And as far as,
I know, it's connected.
as
So,
far as parking trucks too, that's not our responsibility to provide that.
no, it's, agreed.
It's not until they park on the side, like North
Right,
and
on
8th
the
Street,
highway. Right.
because they have nowhere else to go.
Enforce it.
Or on
So
4th and
I
Calhoun,
look at it
wherever.
like, not all of them, but a lot of these drivers are constituents of our community. It behooves us to find a good place for them to park so they can still get what
Work.
they need to from this community, do their jobs. I think we do need to find a solution for that. And then we can discuss, enforcement and other things. But as of right now, honestly, that's a better place than a lot of other places, unfortunately. So, that's my opinion. But as far as vacating it, or, at this time, I assume it sounds like the council wants to move forward.
I agree with you. We need to see what we're gonna have with the RFP, and then go from there and decide what we wanna do after that.
I think we should be actively, just, even if we don't have to, I think we should be looking for somewhere we can direct people. Like, okay, you need to park overnight, please consider this
That's it.
location.
We have to find somewhere to let these people that's not the Walmart parking
Overnight
lot.
and for the
Right.
weekend, when they come
You know.
home on Friday, and,
Right.
stay here till Sunday night.
And unfortunately, we're bereft of a lot of really good options, just because of the way the town's laid out with the river and everything else, it's not helpful, but that's definitely something we can work on.
Yeah, I feel like we have to find somewhere for those people to go before we just say, sorry.
I would agree.
I agree.
All right, well, moving on to number 4, which is the draft RFP for the stormwater study, since we're sort of started discussing that already. A concern with why we haven't moved forward with any of the myriad plans for 7th Street improvement is the stormwater. Well, let's find out what that looks like. If we can find out how much it's gonna cost to do the study, then we'll know whether we've got the money and whether it's good value or and money well spent. And then we can cross the bridge of what that study actually fleshes out to look like. But I think this looks like the scope of work, et cetera, makes sense for what we have for expectations here. The good thing too about something like this, if it does go forward, it's got a decent shelf life. The stormwater study's not gonna change a lot year over year.
No.
It should be something we can reference 10 years from now.
That property's not gonna change.
No, a lot of these things around are gonna be the same, but we have no idea really how much this is gonna cost until we do. So what do you guys think about the draft RFP?
So, correct me if I'm wrong, we're going from 10th Street all the way down.
Yeah, so it's about 1/10 and a half
Right,
over, and these are just estimates
Okay.
of what might be
included.
flowing down
Okay.
to 7th Street. And then because those pipes eventually go out towards the UP Depot area, we would want to include that to see if upsizing would be required there.
Okay.
We're not looking for inlets in that area necessarily, but more pipe sizes.
Okay,
Otherwise, we could put a lot of large diameter pipes dumping into a
Yes.
small diameter pipe and have a problem.
Whereas we're looking more for like inlets on 7th Street or around that area, and then potentially even up further up the hill.
okay. I just was curious why we were going with such a wide area.
Yeah, and it was very hard to discern the area, mainly because we have never had a study before, but then also, just with the direction.
Well, you know as well as the rest of it's been on here for very long. You know, you get a good hard rain, it floods up behind
yeah.
Pepsi, it floods up.
The
behind-
Schroller's basement?
Yeah,
There-
Schroller's
we-
basement.
We know
into
there are
Crowley's.
issues.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, we know where the problems are,
Getting
but,
ahead of that's gonna be a plus.
And-
Before, yeah, before any other development happens, there's existing issues.
yeah.
And that's what those businesses have been asking for the
Exactly.
last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And we as a council have made a commitment to start addressing stormwater issues in this town more seriously, and that's gonna take some time, as we got catching up to do, but this is in that vein as well. So would you, if the council approves the RFP, would you send it out to pretty much everybody we've got in the books who does this sort of thing, or engineering, for engineering groups, or would
Yeah,
you fish
basically.
around for more, or?
Yep, we'd go with all ones that we've worked with in the past, but then we would wanna extend our net a little bit further, just due to the type of project that we're talking about. And then also I'd like council to look at the timeline. Is that a sufficient timeline, or do you feel like it might need to be shortened in some way?
It's not as far away as it sounds, October.
No, it's not.
Is that enough? I had the opposite
That's what I was gonna say,
concern.
is it enough?
Okay.
I actually thought we might need
That's
more
a good-
time. I wouldn't want a good candidate to do the study saying no because they don't have time till November. But,
Well, it's just the submission deadline is October
right, that's
31st.
true, it's not the actual.
Not the actual, right.
This is basically just asking for their qualifications, what it might cost, you know.
You're not awarding anything till November.
Yeah,
Correct.
and this, I mean, this doesn't have any cost. This is purely a fact-finding endeavor.
Right.
I move we move ahead with the draft RFP and the stormwater study.
Second.
Okay. Seconded? Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right, moving to the last item under the business and discussion items, the draft contract for wells with Chris Grauer.
Good evening, how are you guys?
Good.
All right, so Josh asked me to just kind of explain what I'm asking for. I'm not in the city limit, but I own land that has 2 city wells on it. And in 1989, there was an agreement made with the city and this landowner for the amount of lease. And I'm just asking for an increase in that rate because it's been 36 years since it was negotiated. A couple of points I want to make is, if you Google on your phone the equivalent today of $500 in 1989, it comes out to just under $1,300. And I'm only asking for $1,000. So I think it's fair. Taxes have increased. All our, I mean, basically everything has increased. So, you know, I'd just like you guys to consider reevaluating that lease and allowing it to double from 500 to 1,000.
How many leases do we have similar to this? Do you know?
I believe it's 2 other ones.
Other ones?
Yeah.
So is this $1,000 per well?
Yes, and there are 2 wells on the land.
And so before it was $500 per
Yes.
well?
Yeah.
Per year.
Per year?
Yes.
Yeah.
And, Mr. Grauer, there's one other change as well, is that there's an included line about it being for a period of 10 years.
Yeah, I just thought it would be nice to be able to renegotiate it in 10 years as opposed to this original agreement, you know, allowed for no renegotiation. And, I mean, I assume those wells will be there for many years to come, so I think it's fair to reevaluate every 10 years. Like I said, $500 in 1989 is equivalent to $1,300 today, so I'm not even asking for that. But like my property taxes have went up, my water bill has tripled, tires, groceries, you name it, everything's went up. So I think it's only fair to increase this lease as well.
In this situation, do most cities own the property that their wells are on, or do they lease them?
In my experience, yeah, most own the property that the wells are on. It's part of the city in some way.
Right.
Yeah.
These wells are like 3 miles southeast of town, I think is why it's a leased thing.
Wouldn't it make more sense for the city to own the property that the wells are on as opposed to leasing them for a lifetime?
I mean, I would say it's safer to own them. So, I mean, from the administrative side, we're always interested in owning that land that they're on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that something you'd be interested in?
I mean, I guess I never thought about it, but the lease is kind of nice because it helps pay my taxes every year. So I would just as soon it stayed leased personally, but.
I get that, but we have to make decisions that's best for the entire
Yeah.
community and
No, I
not
get
just
it,
one. So
yeah.
that's why I mean, would that be something you would consider, is maybe selling the property to the city so that there is no lease and then maybe be beneficial for everybody?
Yeah, I mean, then I would have to get an easement from you guys to access, because it's kind of a landlocked, it's a piece in the center of the section, so we'd have to
Anybody
draw.
see an issue with an easement? Would that cause any problems at all?
No, and it would just be for, the rights
Right, to
the water and
access
access
other
it.
land.
Yep, so it's, I mean, going back to your comment, Chris, all of my other clients, which include Sabetha, Seneca, Marysville, all own the property that their water sources are from.
Okay.
Including ones that are far outside the city limits.
So what would be the process for opening discussions to make that a reality?
Well, one thing I would like to mention is you have other wells out there on those Scully leases too, so it wouldn't be just buying mine, it would be buying.
So, question two.
I agree.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You buy the spot the well's on, what about the, I'm gonna say right away? Do you buy that too?
You mean the access to the well?
The
No,
lane? Or where the pipe
the
lays?
pipe, where the pipe runs.
Oh, okay.
Typically, that is an easement. Typically, the pipe is an easement all the way back
So do you just buy the half acre
Or the hole in the ground
whatever it
is.
is around the well, is that?
yeah, I mean,
That
it
would be
depends.
all that would be
Yeah, and it
necessary.
depends on the infrastructure. I'm not rehearsed enough in this particular infrastructure
You know
to be
what I
able to
mean?
look at it, but
Somewhere
yes,
down the
yeah.
line, we blow a
Yeah.
line coming in.
Sure, yep, to where we could access it and repair it for both our benefit and for Mr. Growler not to have a large
Right.
mud puddle
Mud
where,
And that's actually addressed in this original, I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys actually saw the
Yeah.
original lease, but that's addressed in there. Personally, from my opinion, I would rather just you guys keep leasing it, because like I said, it helps pay my property taxes each year. If I sell it, how do you dictate what it's worth? I mean, I can't tell you that I want $50,000 for it. You'll probably eminent domain it or
You'd have to have
something,
an
and then I'll be
appraisal.
screwed, so.
Well, yeah.
I would rather
we'd
just
do it
keep the
and
lease.
stuff and make it fair for everybody, but.
Have you been involved with any cities that had to unwind a lease into buying it, or did they just always owned it?
so I want to say right before I got to Seneca, they annexed the property that their springs are on.
Okay.
That I pick up from conversation, so it's something I can look into, and I have readily access information, but not personally.
I think it would be wise, not only for Mr. Grauer, but maybe for the other wells that are on other people's property, maybe we should open up discussions and negotiations with everyone to try and get rid of the leases altogether.
Well, except that you're probably not, don't know about what a Scully lease is. A Scully lease is somebody that has owned the property and never sell it. even the houses that are on it that the farm owners have built is on a Scully lease, and they don't ever own the house.
Millions of acres, it's based in Beatrice, interestingly
Right,
enough.
right.
Well, they have an office in
Well,
Beatrice.
yes.
It's based in
Correct.
Chicago.
Well, or Ireland, or whatever you
Yeah.
prefer, yeah.
So what I'm saying is, we'll probably never own those property with those wells on it.
My 10 cents is renew the lease
Yeah.
at the requested amount. We could spend a lot of money trying to purchase a property and get 2 wells, and as she said, you're not gonna buy the Scully lease. Well,
Okay. Other council members' thoughts?
Kind of what Jeff.
Anybody want to, I guess, make a motion?
Move to approve.
Wait.
Well, yeah, I mean, Mr. Grauer has his proposal. I mean, I think it's not an action item
Okay.
for today, so.
We can.
Just a draft?
Yeah, just a
Okay.
draft,
Right.
as well as, Mr. Grauer, of course, has the price in there. The rest of it did look the same as the previous lease agreement, but then also that 10-year term. I think we need to look at that as well to figure out, I think even if the council is okay with that, I think I would alter that language just a little bit. So in the case that, even if it's not, Mr. Grauer, but that 10-year increment, after the 5th time, Mr. Grauer's no longer owning that land, that we know what that renegotiation period looks like, and if there's a deadlock, what would happen, so on and so forth.
That was gonna be my next question.
Ironing out
After.
those contingencies.
So you can work on that and then bring,
Sure, yeah, I'm happy to review that language and put in some proposed language that gets to what Mr. Grauer, I think, would be interested in, and then from that perspective, then it can be talked about amongst the council. I think I'd feel comfortable with that.
Yeah,
So
that works.
after the 10 years, how would that work? If they come back for renegotiation, the council decide, no, we're gonna keep that, how does that work? You know what I mean? I guess that's my question.
There are, for stuff like this, frankly, it's why those provisions aren't in there. What is specifically odd about this lease agreement and all these lease agreements is that the purchase price is even in the recorded document. Typically, it's just done, through, it'll say language in there to be renegotiated from time to time. But it being a recorded document, that's really the variable that's in my mind, of having to clear that up, because it is going to run with the land. So it's a puzzle, Chris, and that's why I want to have specific language to be able to iron that out and figure it out in the long term.
Okay.
So.
all right, well, I guess work on that and bring it back to us, and we'll get back to you.
Okay, thanks for your time.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Chris.
it. Thanks.
All right, we'll move on to the consent agenda.
Move to approve consent agenda.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7-0.
Thank you. We have next appropriations ordinance 3853.
Move to approve appropriation ordinance number 3853 in the amount of $1,296,278.07.
Second.
Okay, so moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call?
Snellings,
Yes.
Ferris,
Yes.
Barons,
Yes.
Keating,
yes.
Eichmann,
Yes.
Rom,
Yes.
Schrader.
Yes.
Next up, we have the city administrator report. Josh?
Okay, so now that this consent agenda has passed through, all of the city council is invited to the employee picnic on September 20th, not 28th, whatever it says. So please come to the city park at 5 p.m. until dark. we are still trying to figure out what food we will be having. But all city staff is invited and their families, so. Also, we're trying to get everybody signed up for the league conference meeting. I know we've brought this before in front of the body, just wanted to make sure we got everybody signed up that was wanting to get signed up. I have Chris, Kevin, Colleen, and Cherie. Was there anybody else? Of course, I will be there the day before. If you do change your mind by tomorrow, let me know. Because we will be getting everybody signed up at that point, so. Also, with the league meeting, we do need to decide who the voting delegate is from the body that is going. This is just one delegate from the city. Last year, I believe Colleen was the delegate. It doesn't have to be somebody from the governing body, it can be staff. However, it is up to the council on who they want to choose to go.
What are they gonna be voting on?
Just the league rules and,
Bylaws? and-
yeah, that they have
Also
changed
changes.
from the last
Previous
year.
year.
And if they have any nomination, election, or anything like that?
Yep.
Who wants to do it?
Kevin?
I'll do it if you want, yep.
All right,
Sounds
there you
good.
go.
Okay.
Otherwise, I don't believe I had anything else.
Can you comment on how the drainage problem on 15th Street is?
I
mean,
have
is
not had
is
an
it-
update since,
Is it connected clear across underneath and into the manhole on the south side, or?
yeah.
That's all concreted in and
Okay, I didn't know, that's why I was asking.
Yep, so, I will try to get a better update from CES here soon, just in general, and just to see.
I'm just curious, 'cause
Yeah.
I knew they tubed it, and I knew they had excavators on the south side digging, but I didn't know if they actually made the connection into
Yep,
that manhole or not, or?
yep, I'll check into all of that just to make sure that they had at this point and
But
let
about
everybody
the-
know.
The
Yep,
dip.
they're still working through that as far as I've heard. So, yeah, the dip on the highway is very noticeable. CES is working through solutions with KDOT, and then with their, team to try to figure out what exactly they need to do, so that way we're not digging through the highway, to repair all that. They're hoping there's a better solution that won't be as costly,
Like mud jacking?
possibly, yep.
And because it's on the highway, it's taking longer to figure out, because it's not
Of
only
course.
us and
Yep.
CS, it's also KDOT and all the other fingers in the
Yeah.
pie.
Yep.
It's a traffic control device, it's a feature.
Yeah.
Any update on 11th Road?
As far as, let's see, I got a list of 4 items they're still working on. Concrete should be about done. They were still testing the PSI last time I had heard from them. So that was pretty close to the required limit. Otherwise, it's mainly ditch work. There was still some sewer lines, I believe.
Good deal.
Sorry.
All right, that's all you had, Josh?
That is all.
All right, moving forward, standing committee reports. I know a lot of you got a chance to see the YAC, Youth Advisory Committee in action when you came in for the meeting tonight. They had a number of discussion items. Garrett already had talked a little bit about what they're doing for the back to school night, but they also discussed helping promote the Rotary Fifth Quarter program that's after the Jamboree, to kind of, at Land All Lanes, to kind of get an activity for fun, youth to have fun and stay out of trouble after that. They also discussed some of the things that might work to attract young people back to Marysville. How they can be, as YAC members or just youth in general, be involved in other groups and efforts around town, whether they're city groups or otherwise. Some of their ideas for the 7th Street corridor, being represented on the promotions committee, and also some of their thoughts and comments on the city parks and trails around town. So it's good to get some variety of opinions there. And they've got more projects going forward as well too. So
Once again, if you have any projects for them or any larger topic items for them, please bring them to city staff so that way we can add them to their agenda.
Yep. Yep. The only other standing committee report was we had a meeting with the Admin and Finance Committee with One Marysville as far as fleshing out what that potential new contract would look like. Anybody want to speak to that? We might remember the details better than me.
I showed up
Lord.
late, so don't ask me.
A lot of it was the contract amount, how to spend the funds, when to put them out, whether
Properly
it's.
distribute the funds.
That's the.
Can I say that?
Sure.
They want us basically to give them all the money that's in the transient guest tax.
And we talked about retaining either a flat amount or a portion of that, or whether to, basically have a skin in the game scheme where the more that they can help build that fund up, they directly benefit proportionally to that. It was an interesting conversation.
What
but
do we use the transient guest tax portion for?
we get requests and then we allocate it out based on those.
Yeah, this
requests.
past year, of course, we have used it for the contract. That's the biggest portion right now. It's 80,000. We've also used it for the benches downtown. That was one of the requests that we received from the Convention and Tourism Committee. In past years, we have used it to pay for fireworks. In past years, we've also used it just for other types of requests from the Convention and Tourism Committee. With the contract, though, for tourism services, the committee has, for the most part, not been active.
Yeah.
And this is kind of, the idea was if we retain some of that, it gives us a pool of money to, spend on those requests, and also a little bit of flexibility because, it is a little bit of unpredictability. I mean, we looked over the past year's income for that fund, and, in general, it's been mostly consistent, but not so consistent where you wouldn't want to have a little bit of fluff and carry over to kind of preserve flexibility.
So for the most part, you can use those funds for anything that is going to produce tourism in some type of way, or conventions in some type of way. So if you're saying that more people are going to visit because 7th Street has been completed, then we could put all of that money towards that. It's not going to be enough to complete 7th Street at all, but that's one thing that you could do with it if the council so chose to do so.
But then also we have the thing that we don't charge them rent. So at some point, we either have to charge them rent or have that rent included in the money that we give them, would be my suggestion.
Another way that you can spend that money is building improvements for the office that houses the tourism.
And that's something they discussed as well, was whether we would allocate them, this is the funding like we have, and also another small pool of money specifically earmarked for those kinds of improvements. And they wanted a longer lease. I think they set up to 5 years. We discussed maybe 2 or 3 years. So that they would.
On the building.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
So that way.
Lease, not lease,
No,
contract.
Contract.
I said
Yes,
that's what I
yeah.
was thinking.
Contract.
They do want the
They
guarantee
do.
for the building for that,
Right,
for that
they want
period.
that, yes, tied to the building, so that way if they do put money in improvements, they know it's not sunk in 2 years, they aren't gonna lose all that, which is understandable. So, anyway, conversation continues, I'm sure we'll have another meeting to.
So we have until September 20th to negotiate exclusively with that group. After that period, we could go elsewhere for those services. We could decide we want to go back to just mainly the committee if the council so chose. I'm not sure that there is another group out there that would be interested in taking on tourism. But like I said, there is the committee option too.
I will say, they do a pretty good job for activities and bringing people, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of work I know I couldn't do, that's for sure.
All right, and so that was all the standing committee meetings we had. Moving forward, appointments and wage determinations, of which I have none. We have with us our city attorney.
Yes, been working on the items in the agenda today, as well as clearing up an old bond issue with the help of Sammy, I think we've got a good grasp on that. She did a lot of research and digging through old files, so she should be commended for that.
Great, go team. Did you have anything else for us tonight?
That's all.
Executive session, I believe we do need one. You've got for
Attorney officially called the,
matters deemed privileged in an attorney-client relationship about litigation or claims against the city. Anybody like to read that? How long do we
I'll
need?
read it.
We'll just do 10 minutes,
10
8:10
minutes?
is fine.
Okay.
8:10.
Yeah.
I move the city council recess into executive session for consultation with an attorney on matters deemed privileged in attorney-client relationship about litigation or claims against city to KSA 75-4319B2. This meeting will include mayor, city council, city administrator, and city attorney. The open meeting will resume in city council chamber at 8:10.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7-0.
Sorry. You're fine, you just don't make enough room.
Okay, we now return to open session from executive session where no binding decisions were made. Does anyone have a need for another executive session? Seeing none, we will move forward to council comments. Lori?
I only have one. All the grass growing up in between the bricks. Is that our responsibility to spray or burn or do
It is
something? Yes, it
This
looks-
year it's really grown.
Yes, it sure has.
I know, I spray in front of my house, but
It is not the property owners adjacent to it, I would
Right.
say. It is a difficult challenge, just because that's a lot of spray that you would be talking about if we were to hit everywhere.
That's why I didn't know.
If you could send us major areas that you're thinking of, including maybe this one right next to
Yeah.
us. Yeah, and then that way we can always hit the ones that we feel like it is.
on a
Okay.
case by case
Yeah.
basis.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
And
got
I
it.
tell you, there's a lot of places where if the people didn't shoot their clippings onto the street, they would not have grass growing up.
If you see anywhere that's particularly bad at that, do report it. A lot of times, the police know if this has been a repeat occurrence, and they will educate before they whip crack.
The last time I reported it, yeah.
It's not really the grass clippings on the street, it's then your grass get too tall, it seeds out, then you clip it on, that's where the grass.
And it's been a tough year to keep up with mowing, so
Oh, yeah,
it's not
it
like we're
has.
without sympathy, so.
Yeah,
And that's it, Lori?
that's all I got.
Agree?
I think everybody got an email. Whose responsibility is it to clean up the stuff on Main Street around the trees? Is it the owner's
in
responsibility?
The tree holes or
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, because it looks pretty,
Generally, people the owners do take care of it.
yeah.
When we plant the trees, but
I would really appreciate some help from property owners and building owners.
Yeah, care
With
about what
that.
they.
It is difficult for the Parks Department to get out there.
Okay,
to
but
do-
does the Parks Department have the stuff that you might need, like the mulch or the rock or whatever you're supposed to put out to do that?
We could try to supply some.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And I'm not so sure in this instance that there was, when I could see, there was one weed in it and the rest of it looked like ornamental grass or something that had been planted in
you
there.
know, all grass is ornamental if you let it grow long.
Well, so that's the other thing. Some building owners have purposely planted some stuff right next, or with the trees. And they would absolutely tear into us if we were to pull stuff out of there. So we do have to be careful of that.
And I think as a general rule, anytime, somebody wants assistance from the city, whether it's a little bit of labor, a little material, whatever, have that conversation with City Hall. We're happy to work with people. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else, Sheree?
Nope, that's it.
Colleen?
I had someone tell me today that the teeter-totter at Lions Park, looks like there's a weld broke on it.
Oh wait, you said lion?
Lions Park,
Which one?
I don't know, that's
Okay,
just,
there's two sets of two.
yeah, I'd have to find
One
out
of the
that,
sets.
but,
One of the sets.
yeah.
Somebody at lunch break
Yeah,
around
check
up
'em
there
all.
could just pull one around from Landau, that'd be great.
We were just there on Sunday and I don't remember seeing one.
They were just there yesterday and last night and yeah. Sorry. That's all I have.
Jeff?
Guess the one thing I have, or actually I got two things. First off, I thank the city for helping try to mitigate some of the potholes on 12th Road. We had a conversation about a RFP for the alley out here because of the property owners, business owners getting in. We do have a business owner that's out there. It's called Hometown Lumber, probably number 6 in sales tax in our community. So I take that, keep that in mind when we start making commitments to concrete in an alley. The other thing, my comment on putting a plan in place. If I was gonna build a house, the first thing that I would not do is tell myself that, well, before I decide the kind of money I'm gonna spend on it, I'm gonna put my sewer in.
But what you would, sorry, I'm not interrupting, go ahead.
So,
I'm not trying to pick a fight.
no, it's very true. I mean, you're not going to start a project and go, well, I'm gonna build a house, but first off, I gotta get my sewer put in. Well, I got the sewer put in. Well, now I need to build my house and I need to put my water in. Well, I got the water in, but you haven't thought about building a house yet. I'm more worried about putting sewer and water in. So that's my one thought on the way we've been planning some things.
That's all you got?
Yeah, that's all I have, Todd.
Most people put in sewers and water lines before they build houses.
Not before you figure out what you're putting on top of it,
I was gonna
Colleen.
use a different metaphor. My metaphor was, before I build a house, I wanna know if the land will drain.
And don't we have other businesses?
You
that
know
are
where I
having
was
flooding?
coming at.
I know where you're
You know where I
coming.
was coming from.
I do know where you're coming.
We can't come up with a plan with any of these projects if we're just gonna pick the first thing we need to do and take care of it.
No, I'm saying
It
we
all
gotta do
needs to
two
go
things.
concurrently.
We gotta do two things at once. Not everything's one at a time. Sometimes it's two at a time, so we do both. Walk and chew gum. Keith?
Under the tabled and unresolved items, with winter being 4 months away.
Odd, you even talked about that.
And
Great
go
idea.
ahead and maybe start discussing item number 2.
Yeah,
I think that's a good idea.
yep, I think we need to implement it, and solve a lot of problems.
So we
I agree.
put that as a business and discussion at the next meeting?
Yes.
That'd be okay?
Well, do you wanna have a,
Do you wanna have a committee meeting about it?
Committee on it first,
Yeah, we can do that.
do a street committee meeting, then we bring it
I
up.
guess,
Yeah,
yeah. Utilize the street committee.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, why not?
Okay,
Let
let
them make
us
the
why not? Let's
know,
bring it.
we'll reach out for which days, just let us know which days work best for you.
Just kidding. I'm pretty
Over
free
the next
coming up.
month. And we'll go ahead and at least start the conversation on it. And please bring research on it, strongly one way or another.
And on the, I call it the naughty list. I see the city mowed 2 times and for the same 3 people. I mean, we can go ahead and talk to some mowing companies and say, hey, here's an address that we were doing.
Who's gonna pay them?
then we have to.
It's a start, I mean,
The trouble is, then we have to pay them, and then we have to wait for payment.
Well, I know, but, I mean,
Yeah.
if we could just like, hey,
They'd still be cheaper than we
I was gonna
are,
say,
though.
would the
Yeah.
mowing company be cheaper than?
So those ones that we keep mowing, are we just hanging that on their taxes, or do they actually pay it?
Most of the time, it ends up going on the tax roll.
Yeah.
On
I mean,
occasion.
we charge what, double what? I mean, what?
We're not a good value, because we don't want to be in the
We don't wanna
business.
mow people
We,
for us.
I have
It's
to
like
explain that to people sometimes.
$300?
Oh, sometimes it's more than
very
that.
expensive.
Kinda like
I
mowing.
mean, I just looked at the list here and there's the same 3 people that have been mowed twice.
We don't wanna be the
If
default
somebody
mowing service.
asks us for potential mowing contractors, we do try to give out those. I would suggest trying to hire somebody rather than hiring the city to do it.
I agree.
Like we've said, we are very expensive. Maybe 2.5 times what you would get elsewhere, actually a lot more than that.
I just still charge the same that we always charge for it, but just hire an outside, then you're helping businesses, and we're still taking care of the problem, and we're not overworking the city staff.
Well, it brings up a very good point. Are we spending our money wisely trying to mow all of our parks on our own? Something to think about for in the future.
100%.
Because it does cost us twice as much to mow grass than others.
I mean, this could be a continuous discussion on.
I think it should be discussed,
Yeah.
especially what Chris brought up. I do think it would be difficult to find a contractor to do 1 or 2 every 2 weeks. Just because if they're gonna add one, they're gonna want more continuous amounts. But I do think it could be discussed more.
That's what I got.
Okay. Yeah,
I have nothing tonight.
Chris?
Okay. Thanks for letting me shoot fireworks, 'cause I know a lot of people enjoy them. I heard I made concerned citizens. I'm not on it, but I heard I made it. But the reason I bring that up is I came to council and I got permission. I got about 6 phone calls the day after, because apparently there was a wedding that shot fireworks, that I don't remember them coming to ask permission, and they shot them well after midnight. So.
I didn't know where it was, but I could hear them from my house.
The wedding was at the Legion,
Yeah.
yes, so.
Which day was that?
Saturday.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
We may need to look into that and find out who it was and maybe counsel them on the procedures for shooting fireworks.
Yeah, it's not a great look, since at the same night you've got one entity who asked for permission and another who didn't. Because if we don't do any kind of enforcement, even if it's just educational enforcement, some kind of enforcement, then we're sending a message that ask permission, don't ask permission, whatever. And that's not, I don't think, a message we want to send.
No. But that's all I did. The only reason I brought it up is I got like 6 calls about it, because it woke a lot of people up, and I tried to have mine done well before bedtime, but.
I heard yours, I didn't see them.
What's
Yeah.
that?
I said, I heard yours, I was at a pool party at the pool, so I didn't see them.
Well, what's the new Landau shop over there?
50?
Man, they enjoyed it. We'll just say that. They were
You in there was supposed to be working?
It was fun. It was good. I don't know if anybody saw it, but that was actually
Out of
a
town.
very reasonable price for what we got.
It was a good show, especially knowing how much it cost. I thought it was better than a lot of small town shows and things that I've seen, so. All right.
That's it for me.
I didn't have anything else.
Move to adjourn?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.